You know, it's interesting because for you as a contact specialist and your greatest joy, Arjun, it includes being visible, right? I'm not seeing you, but I mean, I'm connecting with you. You allow yourself to be seen and known by masses, frankly, and whomever is called to something like this. And I want to harken back to something that Wieteke and I discussed at the very end of our last time together a couple of months ago, the three of us, when she was talking a little bit about shyness. I think this is a really important point in conversation because for so many of us who are light workers here at a very auspicious time on the planet Earth, we have this desire to be in front of people. We have this calling to be in front of people. It's part of our mission. And yet concurrently, there is this timidity, there's this shyness. And so it comes out, it's a little strange. I need to be visible, but I have reticence, right? So there's not total alignment with being confidently visible to the audiences, to the world at large. Can you talk about how that piece that creates the reticence might be reframed or healed so that we can feel fully free and confident to be seen and heard by the world, but also to have the voice we really came here to have?
Oh, thank you so much for this wonderful question. Let us shine a light on two aspects of this question. First of all, you said that I personally am choosing to be very visible in this way. And it could be said that yes, to some degree I am, but also humanity is being given the opportunity to choose to harmonize their own, you could say, individual and collective vibration, more so to ours, if they wish to use it as a permission slip or a stepping stone to remember their own highest potential, you see. And so we come as a mirror, and the reason, one of the many reasons that we come through certain individuals of your collective in this way that you call channeling, allows every single observer that comes into contact with this information through this particular route of delivery to make up their own mind. We are not of the intention to be invasive. As an ET species, we understand, as an extra-dimensional species, that you are, in a sense, just beginning to tiptoe into the broader realms of understanding of your own greater self, the cosmic energy, bandwidth that you all innately contain. You are just beginning, for most of you at least, to remember that all of that is also you. And we come in as reflectors of that particular idea, and by allowing our energy, vibration, and information to come through one of your own, it is a very smooth, gentle way to introduce certain concepts to your population. And it allows for all of you to make up your own mind whether you choose to believe that this is really coming from me and my people, or whether the person before you that you call a channeler is just making it all up. You have the free choice to use your own discernment, and in your own journey of spiritual awakening, you get to, you could say, train your radar to see what pops up as in alignment with you and not so much in alignment with you. And for some, this may resonate, and for some, this may not. You all have your own route of exploration. Eventually, through the route of least resistance, you will all attract effortlessly into your own version of reality the information that is most relevant for you in every single here and now. Now, you do have many people who have come in to incarnation in this particular time and space of your time-space reality dream construct to be what you might label light workers or activators or facilitators in all kinds of ways. True, most of these people feel an innate calling to use their real voice, their heart's inner knowing, their connection to source, and to share that with the world in their own way. And yes, many of these individuals walk up and against the challenge of how they have been trained or have chosen to be trained throughout their own upbringing and by comparing themselves with other people, to not speak up that loudly, to not be too different from all of the rest, and so forth, to fit in with the crowd, to not stand out, and so forth. But to stand out, to come with a new piece of information, with a different angle of perception, is exactly what the greater collective, in fact, has ordered. It is exactly what is being asked for. You have been on a route of exploration, generally speaking, that holds a lot of room for growth, for spiritual expansion. For that expansion to take place, you could say, the old jacket needs to be taken off. And so it may feel to those that understand themselves to be light workers or messengers, cutting edge messengers for the new paradigm that they sense, that they know is possible for all of you, that lies as a potential within your hearts, within your species. It may feel to them as if that old jacket is bursting at the seams. They may feel very caught, we're looking for the translation, almost suffocated by that old paradigm, mainstream type of thinking that is still so present in many layers of your current setup of society. This push, so to speak, this pressure is being experienced by them as very uncomfortable. And the beauty of that, the function of that, is to, in a sense, trigger them out of their comfort zone, to help them realize that the moment they choose to open up, the moment they allow their own true voice, their own truth to flow through them effortlessly, there will be an immediate sense of relief. The idea of shyness mostly comes from the idea of comparing yourself to other people, people who have already done a certain thing and perhaps it didn't work out exactly as the rational mind would like to see it work out. It is a result of imagining worst case scenarios, how things may turn out to be. But it also comes from lack beliefs. It is not open. The concept of, you could say, being fearful to speak in that way comes from the lack belief that perhaps what you have to say isn't worth being heard by those who get to hear it. The idea, though, is that within the divine all that is, within the all that is of creation, no mistakes are being made. When you walk on the street and, quote unquote, accidentally pick up on a conversation that is playing out between two people that walk by you on the street, the one or two words that you can perhaps make out of that mumbling, if you pay attention to them, may actually fit in with a specific theme that you're just working on right now in your own life, and may even help direct you to a possible solution. If you choose to look at your life the way you experience your version of reality as a type of lucid dream, if you look at everything that you encounter within your day in that way through those filters, you may find your world to be already very magical. You may find that you are being communicated with from many layers of dimensions. We are not the only ones chipping in now and then First and above all, it is your higher self connection that guides you, that shines through you like a light does through a movie projector. You are, with your rational mind, just observing the movie. But the higher self, your soul connection, is the light itself that has chosen to have that movie run in front of the light so that the movie would be projected on the white screen for the ego mind, the rational mind, to be observed and to some degree buy into. You could say that shyness is the result of buying into the movie just a little bit more than you would say perhaps serves you. Now you know this on a higher self point of view, and you guide yourself through the emotional guiding mechanism. This is why shyness, though often used as some type of an excuse, really only just reveals to those that choose to use that word or that concept, it reveals there is some type of lack belief at the bottom of their belief systems that perhaps they haven't fully chosen to look at just yet. You have room for expansion. If you feel shy, there are some wonderful gifts hiding for you in the shadows. It just reveals to you, you could say, the capability that you must carry within yourself to take off, like we said before, that very cramped, very outgrown jacket, so that you can make room for a new one that suits you much better. Whenever you say anything, whenever you allow your voice to shine through, or your message could be in writing, could be through a blog, could be in many, many ways, through a song, through music. Words are in that sense not the root of least resistance for everyone. So when you find the way through which you would like to shine your light most brightly, you will find that, even though, yes, some people may be triggered by that, when you do choose to allow yourself to go with the flow in that way and follow your heart in that way, even those that may be triggered by what you have to bring as your unique gift, eventually further down the road, will be able to use that information in their own spiritual growth. Remember that you can only get triggered about one thing or the other if there is still room for expansion. So there are no accidents. And this would be perhaps one of the strongest arguments, perhaps, that we may offer to those that feel shy. The more they can make peace with the greater perspective of one or two people perhaps not agreeing with what they have to say, or perhaps not fully aligning with the vibration that you're offering in that moment, the more you can look at that from a higher perspective, a higher point of view, and understand that these individuals are being given a gift, they just have not yet chosen to unwrap. They may choose to do that later, or they may never choose to do that in this incarnation, but that's not up to you. The only thing that's up to you is to allow yourself with full integrity to be as much in full alignment with your own higher self in every single here and now moment, following your highest excitement, that what inspires you, act upon it to the best of your ability without pushing or pulling, respecting also other people's preferences in that way. If somebody doesn't want to listen to you, allow them to walk away or do something else. You do not have to convince anybody else of your light. If you feel you need to convince others of what you have to say, that only reveals you must then be doubtful of what you have to say yourself. Because why would you need a confirmation from the quote unquote outside if you truly believed in what you are sharing? So here again, without pushing or pulling, share what you have to say in a joyous way, keep it open, be without insistence. Do not insist on where it needs to lead to, what you feel the response has to be from other people. If you come from that high vibrational wave, from joy with non-insistence, you will get back, reflected back to you from your environment, mostly positive reflections, usually. You may still invite some, you could say, averse responses, but usually when that happens, it is just to double check on yourself. You have invited these sour notes, you could say, in the game, to test with yourself how much more harmonious you have gotten within yourself. And when that is smoothed out, once you have accepted that within yourself to such a deep degree, understanding that there is only divine timing, that nothing comes out by accident, and that anybody can use anything to grow from if they choose to, then there will no longer be any excuse for shyness, and you will thrive and feel surrounded with positive reflections and a ongoing stream of synchronicity as the result of you allowing your light to shine that brightly.
That was a beautifully fleshed out answer. Thank you. And I keep hearing in your answer, it's really for all of us a spiritual journey when we're called to be a voice.
Yes.
Or whatever it is, like you said, singing, dancing, art, speaking, influence, etc. Podcasts, still. Yes. It is a spiritual journey in the sense we're really not up against anybody else. There is no comparison. It's just us with the divine, and to enact the mission we came here to do. And when there's a bump in the road of shyness or something that aberrant that comes up, it's really ours to take on to get through to the other side, to do what we came here to do.
Yes.
Beautiful. Wow. I hope that inspired a lot of people, and there'll be a lot more voices out there after this.